I've always maintained that sports activation and sports development are a bedrock of any successful sporting code anywhere in the world. In this episode, my next guest is an epitome of that. Football is a sport which is loved by all and sundry throughout the world, if not throughout the globe. We'll be reflecting on a team that is coming all the way from the north suburb of Johannesburg, called Gomora United. The chairman of the team is here to speak to us. Let me welcome you. My name is Chris Kope, aka Biggie on Sport. Chairman, welcome to Biggie on Sport.
Thank you. I'm very happy and humbled to be here.
And congratulations to the team being promoted to the NFD, if not the Motsipe Foundation Championship.
Okachi.
Thank you so much. Chairman, thank you for joining us this afternoon here on our episode. Take us through, Chairman, who is Joe Sianego?
Joe Sianego is, as the name said, is the guy who was born a long time ago in Alexander, 1976.
You give your age there.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
I know I look young.
Yeah.
16 June,
Yeah.
by the way. That's why I mentioned it.
Wow.
It's very important
Okay.
to give it away because it was a youth day in Alexander with the riot and whatever it is.
And you were born.
I guess that's why I'm so strong and the chosen one also. Yeah. So yeah, and then along the way, and then my parents they took me to Limpopo, where I started my school, but came back again into Alexander to complete my studies. And yeah.
The love of football, were you a footballer yourself before you becoming an owner of a club? Did you play football at some stage, be it on the grassroots level, be it semi-professional or professional?
I did play football, especially at my young age on the street, like when we were playing with those soccer players.
Like any other kid in the township?
Like any other grew up in a township. And as we know, it was the only sport most of us from the township and also the rural areas, the sport was mostly exposed to us. So, and I was always a leader on whatever I was doing at the young age of 6, 7, 8. I think it was something I was born with. And I always believed that I can also play for professional, but I think it was not destined for me. But I think I ended up on the third division as a player. But I was not talented, but I was just got something different. Yeah.
Chairman, did you ever at some stage had aspirations of owning a football team one day?
Look, anything in line, there's a science whereby they will show you the type of road where you want to take. So in terms of owning a soccer club, yes, I was always wanted to own a soccer club, but how, so, where and when, I could not figure that thing out. But along the line, there's just always whereby God just directed you to go along that route, saying that this is your route and then you can. Because even though wherever I was working, I was always motivating the companies. Even though when I was doing the training at Eskom College, I was always wanted to coach at also Alexander Technical College, where I was a student, but I didn't play. I was motivating the guys to say that let's push this, let's do that. And I was coaching as a student, which is I was the first student to do that. And then when I got opportunity also to train at Eskom, I revamped all sporting coaching at Eskom, also at the power stations. Yeah. We have mini leagues, and we created all the substation Eskom across the country to have competitions. So in terms of owning a soccer club, yes, definitely it was something was always into my blood. I could not tell by that time. Yes.
Studying a football team is not an easy thing, especially on the grassroots level. Gomora started back in 2020. Talk to us as to what were the challenges through and through.
You are right, Gomora started at 2020, but looking at my journey in terms of owning a soccer team, I started but motivated by the tournament, which is my Manpiri in Alex. So look, I had young guys, young juniors, and we affiliated there. And then we called that team Joe's 11. I think it was it was long. I think 1990 something, 97, 99, around there. So I got youngsters, and we went all the way up to the finals. And I think we had the young guys. They were still very young, like the young guys like Abu Patrick Pungwayo playing for my team. The US Fisos like Jabupules in that time. I think it was 1997 to 1999, 1997. Owning that team, which is Joe's 11. We present the T-shirts and give it to the supporters. And after that, I got a team called Boca Junior. I bought a team at SEP, which was called Boca Junior. And then Boca Junior went to the playoffs. Unfortunately, we lost on the playoffs to get promoted to the third division where we were last season. And then after that, we got the status of a very famous team, which was owned by Ndate Mokoena, which was the CEO of SAFA, from Soweto. What is that team?
Panthers.
Soweto Panthers.
Soweto Panthers. You mean Ndate Mokoena, Ali Mokoena?
Ndate Ali Mokoena. Yep. So we bought the status of Soweto Panthers.
Okay.
We named it and Babirwa. And then after that, things they didn't went well. We did well. We recruited very, very good players from PSL, Labol, Rato Shabangu, Tefoma Shamaite. We got Kotowako Masugu in our squad. So it was always ambitious to have a very big brand in terms of football. After the project of Babirwa did well, not really failed because COVID came and hit. Then when COVID came and hit, I think we won about 12 games in a row at our division. And then SAFA, they had to take decision saying that the team which is our number one, which were still at the first round, and then which was Kelly's by that time. So they took decision saying that all the teams which is number ones, they must go to the playoffs. So it's nature. There was nothing we could do. And we were 2 games in hand, equal points with Kelly's. And then we were definitely sure that if it was our position, we were going to go there and make it. So, like enough for Kelly's, they took the opportunity. They got Pretoria Kelly's. They got promoted to the NFT, and then which is I'm very proud about them because they have maintained to keep that status up to so far. So I decided to take a break, but as you are saying that Gomora started at 2020. So opportunity comes. There's always opportunity of football, whether you don't just go there and hunt for them. There's a team called Maolosia. True. There's So what happened after that? These guys they just got promoted to APC, struggling with financially. Not to say that I was strong in terms of financially, but I just got the love of football. They said here's the opportunity of status. And my first coach there was the late Ian Palmer and the former Orlando Pirates coach, and you mentioned. And then along the line, we struggled to run the team. We called, I'm just laughing because we called the guy who just said that you interviewed, Kasri, to come to be, former Kasri, to be our partner because I was still busy with some other business ventures. So eventually we sold the team to them, at ABC. Him and the late Ian Palmer, he sold, continued rest in peace. And then after they took the status of Gomora, and then I took a break until the opportunity rise again came back to me. So we got Tembisa Sports Center. They were struggling again, those 2 gentlemen. They called me, say that there's a team here, we're looking forward to bring you to football. I told them that, truly speaking, I'm no longer interested of coming back into football because I know it's very costly to run a team at that level. But calling is a calling, and things will keep on pushing you to do, even though you don't want to do them, like you can imagine. So we sat down and agreed. And then eventually the team, Gomora, reborn again on the season we just passed. And then, yeah.
Chairman, from where we are sitting, I don't want to sound or come across as an alarmist or sensationalist, but from where we are sitting, before we come, in fact, to the peak of the team, where it is right now, had it been that it was 5 years ago, and from where we are sitting, would you advise anyone to say, yeah, you can start a football club, considering the challenges that comes with running a football club, especially at the grassroots level, the issues of poor officiating and stuff like that? Would you advise someone to start a team?
Definitely, I will advise, because remember, the soccer teams, we are not doing it for ourselves. We are not doing it only for our families. At the end of the day, remember, we're creating the jobs. We're putting a bread on the table for someone else. So rather than someone where he can take that money or saving and go there and buy Lamborghini or Rolls Royce. So rather than, at least you put a bread on top of the table. The challenges are there all over, even business. So why will one run away because of poor officiating or the cost of the team? If something you love or something you really want to give, why not, if you got that opportunity? Along the road. Means will come along the road. How do you survive in terms of that? But if you keep on saying that we are afraid of the challenges of the cost of the team, what is not costly? Because even the bread nowadays is very costly compared to what we were buying the bread with. So precisely, so are we not going to live our life saying that we cannot do this because of its costly? So which means all of us, like right now, we're supposed to stay at our houses or at the comfort zone, saying that the things are costly, so that I'm afraid of the challenges. So if you're afraid of the challenges, you stay where you are. You're not going to develop or grow someone opportunity or give someone opportunity whereby what you are doing is not about me. It's not about me having a team at the APC or NFT or at the PSL. But when I'm looking back saying that someone there with a little I can contribute, he can still feed a family. He can still take a child to the crèche. So we generating a new generation by somewhere where God directed us to do that.
You're watching Be On Sport. My guest, it is the chairman of one of the biggest teams being elevated, if not promoted, into the first division here, known as Gomora United. Joe Sianejo is my guest as we reflect on his personal life as well as the team itself, Gomora. There seems to be a very strong connectivity, if not relationship, between Tembisa and Alexander Gomora. But before you answer that, why the name Gomora United? I know Gomora is synonymous to Alexander, but why Gomora?
Truly speaking, you know why. I will say that everyone knows why. Because once you relate any project you do with the community, with the people of your country, so it's easy no more to explain why the name Gomora. Because as I said, the team doesn't belong to me. People need to associate themselves. Tembisa, where Tembisa does it come from? Coming from Gomora. Soweto, all the people from Soweto, they're coming from Alexander. Diepsloot, they're coming from Alexander. So everyone now start to associate. Most of people, when they're coming even from different provinces, the first place where they're looking say that at least Alexander is not expensive. Most of them, we are all accommodated. Alexander accommodated everyone. So hence on, I say that when you look at to create the name, you say that Orlando Pirates, Perfeni Boys, Kaizer Chiefs, those big names. And then you look at international, say that this team, whereby even though you look at abroad, you look at Chelsea, you look at Manchester. Immediately when you say Manchester, you don't even have to mention City or United. But where does it come from? Madrid. You don't have to mention Real Madrid. You don't have to mention Atletico. Where does Madrid come from? Barcelona. Where does Barcelona come from? So immediately when you do something, the product, people must associate themselves, not even saying that Joe is the owner. I'm not the owner. Along the line, someone will gonna come and take over the name Gomora, say that this thing is not associated with Joe, it's associated with the community.
Chairman, how was life at ABC Motsipe?
The ABC Motsipe League is a university on its own. So if you can graduate or you learn a lot of lessons there, truly speaking, when you get out of there, graduated to another level, I think you'll have a master by after.
Break it down for us to educate our viewers. University in what sense?
ABC is a very, very tough league, whereby you overall, not only looking at the province, how many teams do we have at ABC? We got about 166.
166, yeah.
So if you say, you break it down, say that out of 166 teams, all these chairmen, they didn't do that, those teams, where our kids are going to play football, where is going to be the development in a proper structure of football. One time I was thinking about, say that if all of us as the chairman of ABC, we are 166, we wanted to be billionaires. Say that how much are we spending on the teams every month, yearly? That thing can cost you. It can, all of us, if we take all our money, we combine, we can maybe by that year or after that 10 months, we can have 2 billion, 3 billion. We invest on something else, but we keep on insisting playing for only 2 spots available to go to the another division. 166, only 2 will survive.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. So to be competing on that stage, fighting for 2 spots across the country, and after that we are 9 provinces. 9 provinces playoffs, and only 2. So that tells you that 7 is going back to where they were. There was no promotion for them. So you have to work hard. You don't expect things to be easy. You can blame people. You can come with accusations, poor officiating, poor whatever it is. You just have to work hard. Life is not easy there. It's not easy. And as I was saying to you, 166, only 2. Last season was better because now we had a hope of 3. And then you're looking at Gauteng, the teams which are owning the teams at ABC, most of them are professional teams. Most of them, they've got resources. You look at Alexander. Do we have resources? No. But we have to make that thing as an excuse. No. We have to come with a different route. We got vets. They've got their own budget at ABC. You got Pele Pele. They've got their own budget, which is the mother teams. It's our Orlando Pirates.
Feeder to Orlando Pirates.
You got All Stars. All Stars belongs to Skukune.
United,
We got TUT. TUT belongs to who? Belongs to Mamelodi Sundowns and the university. I can mention you. You got the Tshwane University, the Tshwane Southern College. The Tshwane Southern College, they are also covered. You got to the Continental, which is sponsored by Kleenex. You understand? I can let the list goes on. The only team where we say that we got less resources, maybe you'll find out is Gomora United, is JPM. Only those 2 or 3 teams whereby you look at Alexander, we don't have resources at all. We have to share the resources. But here we are.
And obviously there is no financial backup from the PSL itself or SAFA itself, basically.
To follow up on that, you got Highlands. Highlands are owned by
a guy who owns VW dealerships.
You got the shares where at Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
But that thing limit you say that if I was born or grew up in Alexander, I cannot just go there that day when I've got 20 rand to buy an ice cream at Santen and come back. Because immediately when I'm there at Santen, you cannot identify that I'm coming from Alexander. If I've got that 20 rand, say today I just want to eat Nando's in Melrose Arc. When I'm there, we are all the same. So when we are at the field, we are all the same. Just we have to have a different approach, say that. But as I was saying that ABC is not an easy league, whereby we say that we're just going to go there and get promotion. The most important part you have to do, you have to keep on praying, you have to keep on believing, you have to keep on motivating your technical teams, you have to keep on motivating your players. When you see things are wrong, as a leader, you have to find a way to say, namhlanje ngizwenza kanjani la kumotivate lamajita lawo makuso uyabona na ukuthi umoya uphansi namhlanje. So manje uyamluze neplan ukuthi madoda niyabona ukuthi nidlala nani. Wabona. So just keep on working hard. You'll get that opportunity.
Chairman, you have made the people of Alexander very proud, the community, so to speak, from ABC Motsipe. Now you are into, I would say, semi-elite, which is the Motsipe Foundation Championship. Talk us through the excitement. It wasn't easy, obviously, having to play in those mini league, those 3 teams, Coastal and Mpumalanga, the Bees, and the other one from Midlands and stuff like that. Talk us through that.
That is when I started to realize that actually, as I was keep on saying that, you'll understand it one day, saying that I'm just the leader of Gomora. I'm not the owner of Gomora. Because now people are very excited. I've done a radio interview with one of the radios from Mpumalanga, Ikwekwezini FM. People were crossing fingers, say that uzoyithengisa team or uzoyenza kanjani. And now we started to realize that basically
you want to sell the status.
Yeah, basically I'm not owning this. I'm just a leader whereby we have to put a clause here that whoever, even at the next stage, wanted to own or buy the shares, the name remained the same.
The same, exactly.
Because people are very excited, especially from Gomora, especially Gauteng, especially from the country, say that But if we know someone who was born and grew up in Alexander, that's just like us. Now he just won promotion through to the next level. So, which means anything in life is possible. We're doing induction at PSL.
Yeah, I think last week.
Last week?
Yeah.
The main man, Dr. Ivan Kosa, you just come and say that I was born and grew up in Alexander. So the team is almost there in terms of the purpose. So the excitement for me to promote that team, it comes to say, at least now people are recognizing this, people are happy for this.
You have assembled a very strong team, especially the technical team. In fact, well-traveled and an astute coach, Johnny Ferreira. Apparently, you guys call him Mlungu Ferreira, accompanied in his technical team by former Orlando Pirates midfielder Patrick Pungwayo, whom you said was one of your players back in the days, and they did a sterling work in taking the team to dizzy heights. You must be a proud chairman, I should say.
I'm definitely proud, whereby you look at the preparation, say that if I'm not well prepared or I don't have that too much knowledge in terms of football, I want to compete. How are you going to do it? There's a difference between competing and difference between building. So when you want to compete, you have to ambush. You have to bring the people who got the knowledge in terms of football, who they are going to sit down, and when you talk to them, it makes sense. Patrick played for Orlando Pirates. He grew up in Alexander. He played for Vets. When I talked to him, say that, I said, maybe I might be wrong, but how can we do this thing? You started to see this young man has got very, very big knowledge in terms of football. I had to force him to come back. I had to force him because say that to him, can you come and please manage this project? Because maybe you have got not maybe, you got a better knowledge how this thing's done. It's not easy to play for Orlando Pirates, number one. That one I can tell you. It's not easy. So whoever and who played for Pirates, it tells you that is open and is something else. It's a different animal.
Because Pirates is an institution on its
own. It's an institution on its own.
Considering the chairman of the club.
True.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, maybe if I can bring this one. But one thing about them, they will never going to tell you the secrets of Orlando Pirates. Never. I'm still asking myself why. They will never going to say that. Everything keeps in. They say that will help you, but don't ask too much about what is happening on the other side.
Yeah.
And I'll say to you, I still want to sit down with the big man because I really still need to learn how does he do things. And
as an administrator.
And as an administrator. And you see the few words he just gave it to us, say that work hard in silence. Let your work be the result.
Those words, he took them from his former coach, Jose Rivero. He says he's a quiet man and he has learned something from Jose Rivero. Yeah, but go ahead.
He told us that work hard in silence.
Yeah.
Let your work, people then talk about your work. Don't talk too much about your work on the street. So you see, only that those codes say that, but there's still something this man, he need to write a book. If he doesn't have one, he need to educate the South Africa in terms of football. How did he do it? So look, Johnny Ferrari is a veteran coach. Mlungu Mnyama. Even definitely now they're at Alexander now watching our top 8 at Alexander.
Okay.
It's saying that to me, I see a lot of talent in Alexander. So for you to go there where you prepare your team in terms of getting the results and say, I'm competing with the teams which have already started their season long time ago. But me, I'm just having 2 weeks to start the results. You need to have people who are ready, people who have knowledge in terms of football, who knows exactly what they do. So what we have done, we created something, we call it a war room. Whereby if I'm sitting at the stadium, I'm not going to just panic, take a phone, call a coach. That one is playing, why are you doing that? I said to them, give me a plan. Your game plan, what is going to happen on weekend, so that when I'm sitting there, at least I understand how you do things, how things are going to be done. So if there's anything we wanted to address, where to address it? At the war room. So we close the door, we have 6 hours meeting. We engage, we differ, we fight, strong words, but after that conversation at the war room, what do we do? everyone is happy. And then we can have food and eat, shake hands. But come on weekend, people, they do exactly what they promise you or what is their plan they are going to do.
Can I attest to what you're saying about the coach, Johnny Ferreira? I watched a few interviews on other media platforms where he says, in fact, he's very proud to have a chairman of your caliber, saying that there has never been any interference in whatsoever his game plan and so forth are concerned.
Look, I understand when he's saying that because I take him as more knowledgeable in terms of football than me. I'm just a leader. I'm just for me to be there to guide them and support them in terms of the resources. But in terms of the other part, why should I have a coach and instruct the coach what to do? So which means I'm a coach by myself.
You might as well take over.
I must have take over. But if I take over, sitting on the bench, when things are going wrong, when things are not going to the plan, I'll be able to advise because now you have reached the roof. But if things are not going well, I will say them maybe just have to look at 1, 2, 3, because the position where I was sitting, I see maybe you guys, you are not getting something right there. Yeah. So that is what we do. Because their job, I said to them, sometimes when they tell me that the player is not fit, the player is not ready, the player didn't play well, I said to them, if the player didn't play well, so what do you do? Are you dumping the player? Or are you having a program next week to deal with that bad performance of the player?
Or engage with the player.
Engage with the player.
Personal
one-on-one.
And find out.
And find out what is really happening. Because
exactly.
Our players, they've got a lot of challenges from home.
Exactly, from home.
Some they left home without even eating a bread.
Exactly.
Some they've got problems with their
spouses
or
girlfriends.
Girlfriends and kuningi yeah. So you need just to know that, coach, you are a father, you are a coach, you are a leader here. You need to identify, say that, my players today, the performance is not good. What might happen? Sit down with the player, talk to him, engage with him.
Talking about players, the captain, I forgot his name, in one of the interviews as well, says he's proud to have
Tapelo Malek.
Says he's proud of having a chairman like yourself. And apparently when he came to Gomora, he had other offers elsewhere. And you sat down with him and you showed him the vision of what you want to achieve.
Yeah, it's true. Tapelo Malega, we call him Malome.
Malome,
yeah, we call him Malome. Look, I sat down with him, said, I think you played professional. You played a lot of teams. So what is your vision? What do you want to do? Let's say, for an example, you get a team. You sign NFT, you sign PSN. Are you going to have peace inside of you, or are you going to be happy inside of you? What are you going to do after football? So I said to him, weekends, after work, come, sit down, let's work together here. So he's a bus driver.
Okay.
They call him Jomosono sometimes. There's a picture they took him. And no.
No, we all understand where the job comes from. So it comes from.
Yeah.
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
He's the one who's driving these players.
Okay.
Malume. But doing that, it cuts the cost.
Exactly.
It cuts the cost.
Yeah.
So he knows, wake up in the morning, take the bus at the office, go there and collect players, go together there. From there, drop the pass, do something else.
And he still plays and plays
well. And he's still playing as well. So he's building a future for himself after football. Say that to him, like players have moved from this team to another team. How many players now are jobless in terms of professional?
A lot.
But
a lot.
Sometimes you need to identify one corner, say that I think Lana Man is the end. Or I'm approaching my end of
Yeah.
So just get that corner and start to plan for your future. Say that at least after this, I'll be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, you just have to guide them and take them through. Say that, what do you do after this? What are you going to do after this? Yeah.
Chairman, you seem to acquaint yourself with the big man in football. We spoke about him now, Dr. Ivan Khoza. Also in one of the interviews, you attributed your promotion of the team to Dr. Khoza, saying that he will be a proud man seeing Gomora being elevated into the Motsipe Foundation Championship. It looks like there are so many traits that you learn from Dr. Ivan Khoza.
Truly speaking, I always wanted to meet him. Ask him one or a few questions.
And you had a chance during the course of the week.
But I didn't have a chance to speak to him.
Okay.
That guy is a role model. And I don't know how did he do it.
To many people.
And I don't know how he's still keeping it. But look, he's a different animal. That man is a very different animal. When he came to address us, and even the people are working at the PSL, everyone just stand up. The people were doing presentation, they were so surprised, say that it's hardly even for them to meet that man. Now I started to understand, to say that I always wanted to meet this man. It's just so difficult.
You can't meet Dr. Ivan Khoza.
You can't. And I'm saying, to me, if I'll have opportunity to have coffee with him, say that
one-on-one.
I just want to know how did he do it. And I guess I always tell them, those type of people, you will never know. You're gonna keep on guessing. You will, even though you can sit down with him, you're never gonna predict him. You're never gonna know how does it come with. But he's been into football. He's a motivator to everyone. I think in terms of sport, football. One thing element I've learned, the people who are working at PSN, those people, the lesson he gave to them, it's also different class. The way they're willing to help new clubs, the way they are willing to help new people, the way they handle people, the way they make you to feel comfortable. Even for God saying that, Uguti, it's the first time I become into these offices. They make you to feel like, and now I started to say, but the education, that man, or the leadership, he gave it to them.
Apparently, they say at Pirates offices, a person who makes tea, a security guard, a cleaner are very important. They say he inculcates that from technical staff down to the players, that respect every mankind you come across. Whether irrespective of whatever their job it is, whether they make tea, whether they are security officers, respect them.
That's what I'm saying, that is also what I've learned. It's a different animal. I don't think his standard will be able to achieve that, but he really need to escalate, teach us how he's been long, how he's been doing things. As I was saying to you, everyone I think would love to be on his shoes. Everyone would love to be, for him to be our mentors. All the chairmen, and I think because he kept South African football for so long, where we are
today,
and why he wanted to be into football. Whether you got money, you don't have money, but the belief he's giving to us, say that we can do it. There's no one who's chosen. Be humble, respect people.
And credit to him because he has turned around the fortunes of the football body, the PSL itself. I mean, if you look at the financial spin-off, that teams which are applying the trade within the Betway Premier League, in fact, if you look at those funds they get every month, the sponsorships, etc., I think he has turned the corner.
I think that maybe it doesn't sleep 8 hours. That one thing for sure I can tell you. He's a thinker, yes. He's a leader, he's a motivator, it's everything actually. So I don't think he's not sleeping, that man. That one for sure. But it's my thinking.
Yeah.
I think maybe sleep only 2 hours. Because remember, he leads people. The football in South Africa is the only, most especially Africans, we have pride about it, say that we are into football because our leader is giving us belief, say that you can do it.
Chairman, I'm about to let you go, but let's go back as we have actually digressed, talking about Ivan Khoza. Let's come back to Gomora. You are into the 2025-2026 season, playing your trade into the Motsipe Foundation Championship. What does the future look for Gomora? Because life is different from ABC as well as the league I just spoke about. Life is completely different.
Totally different.
Indeed.
Totally different animal. We need a really different approach for us to compete with the teams at NFT. And congratulations those teams who've managed to keep the status at NFT. And also congratulations to the team who got promoted to the PSL. So the question say that how they did do it, and then unfortunate part to those teams who got relegated is life at the end of the day. But for the future of Gomora, we look at all these assets, saying that there's a possibility for us to get promoted. There's a possibility for us to get relegation and promotion. The coin, as Memando Madlala say to us, remember the coin has got two sides. Depends on which side are you looking at. So we wouldn't say that we go there to disrespect the teams that have been there competing. We wouldn't say that we will criticize the team who got relegated. All we are just going to say that God lead us to the greener pastures. Put a big hand into our head. As you know, at the end of the season, we don't know what's going to happen. But everyone on the 16 teams, we got one belief when the league started. Along the line, that belief we start to categorize ourselves. One say that now I want to go for the playoffs. The first priority, all of us to get promoted. The second priority, say that now we are going to go to the I want to go to the playoffs. And then the third one, I want to maintain the status.
Status, yeah.
What is the last one?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what is the last one? Yeah. The last one, you're fighting not to be relegated. To maintain a status, now I'm 13, 14. And then now I'm fighting for relegation. That is the last option, say that. Now I have to push whatever it is, not to go back to APC. So now I have to make sure that I don't get relegated. Possibilities in life are there. So but for Gomora, as we are saying that not only for Gomora, all these 16 teams, if you ask them, everyone when you go into on the same tunnel, you got one belief now. It's got the promotion. The second belief, if it's not happening, you go for playoffs. And then the third one, we are one on the middle of the table. Say that I'm preparing for the next season. If I can win 3 games, I'm not going to go back to the... Exactly. So opportunities are there for everyone. And the one important issue we are facing as South Africa currently right now is the database of the players. There are so many players which is unemployed. And whereby we can't employ everyone. There are so many coaches which are not employed. We can't employ everyone. With 16 teams, 32 teams professional, 160 teams for APC. We are facing a crisis as a football people. What do? We got referees. Looking for the future, looking to put the bread, looking to get promoted. How many referees do we have? I was saying to one of my guys saying that if you take 16 teams, we just say an average, each and every team have 130 players. Not so point of correction, 30 players. Every team, 16, how many players will have to employ? And then out of that 32 teams, you'll have how many coaches? 32. The database, what does it say? So along the line, someone will lose job. Along the line, whether you are a player, whether you are a coach, technical team, along the line we will start to lose them. But what do we do? Because now if you want go back and look for the database of ex-soccer players, some they come one season, they go. What do we do as a country?
I wanted us to reflect on ex-players like Lerato Shabangu, the former prolific player of Mamelodi Sundowns, with reports unconfirmed that he might be joining Gomora. Also, the veteran player, former Orlando Pirates player, who was instrumental in your promotion, Rema Hamuza. I wanted to reflect on those 2 players as well, including 2 of your players. It has never been heard of a team such as yourself at that particular division having 2 players on trials in Spain. Very quickly, can you say something about those players I've mentioned? Very quickly.
Let's start on the issue of Lerato Shabangu. Lerato Shabangu is always associated with me by saying that, remember, I took him when I was still with Babiro. And then now when I come back, people have got the same expectation. The doors are always open, as long as it's for the right purposes, as long as we're going to put him on the right purposes. You see? So at the same time, we need to protect the identity of Lerato, not use him as only for the benefit of Gomora, to rebuild someone. Have that project where you at least you rebuild someone to recapture into future, say that Magabona la Payana Ati, Namagbon Dr. Ivanity, he doesn't even know me. I don't know whether you understand me. So don't do things because of you want to attract the attention of the media or something. If you got a pure heart, you want to help someone, do that with a pure heart to do that. When you come into the issue of Roy Mahomotse, it was not easy to recruit Roy Mahomotse. I didn't even know his age. I just realized now that he's 43. He's almost like my age.
But he runs like an 18-year.
The leadership. But which institution does it come from?
Orlando Pirates.
Exactly. That man, when I had to recruit him, say that I need a leader here, whereby I need someone who understands. He had to come and interview me, saying, and I hear that you want to see me. That man is always serious. He doesn't have time to play. And the two players went to Spain. You see, sometimes those two youngsters, you have to pay for their flights. You have to make sure. And they went on a critical time when you're supposed to go to the playoffs because they said they're going to come back. Immediately, the chairman doesn't want them to come back. Now about 8 players, one is signed 3 years with Marumo Callens. And then now there's 4 at Magezi. You get the point. And you look at along the profile, the players, as Jose Anejo, I have took them out of the dusty dustbin and put them to the professional level.
On the pedestal.
We spoke about like Wabo Panch Masanamela, who was out. We have to revive his career whereby he was earning 8,000 or 5,000 at Babirwa, but he went to go and play for Baroga, he earning 100 plus the salary. So you look at that, say that, what do you do for the community? So what do you do as your brand? Say that, I want to say that, Abu Mutanzani, he came and played for me where he doesn't even have a place to stay. But he have managed to go and play for Bafana. There's one guy which is Tato Kiba, he's playing for Stellenbosch. So there's a lot of players I put along the system.
Let's leave it at that, Coach. I hope this is not your last...
Coach, Chairman.
Yeah, Coach, Chairman, sorry. Chairman, I hope this is not your last visit here on Beyond Sport. We're excited. And finally, can you speak to the people of Gomora and tell them, in fact, what the future holds for Gomora and what it means, does Gomora mean for them as a team?
This is a newborn for Gomora. The future of Gomora belongs also to the community. The community, they need to come and help as they know that we've got the difficulties in terms of the facilities. So we have to come together to convince the city of Joburg to come and help us to revive the stadium of Alexander so that we can play our home games. Because even though when we're playing our games in Alexander at APC, the stadium was almost half full. So they relate themselves with the Gomora, but they need to be part and parcel of the Gomora. Because Gomora is going to create a lot of jobs, going to create the street vendors to come and to sell things at the Gomora. At the end of the day, they can be able and associate themselves, say that at least there's something happening in Alexander to make sure that this brand grows, and we send a message across the thing that the team doesn't belong to Joe, belongs to the community, belongs to the people of South Africa.
I like the last part of your message, because we don't have to look at football being played in the field, but beyond the field itself. Informal traders, the vendors out there who will be sitting there in making sure they put bread on the table. Because right now, with Gomora playing in Alexander, it will resuscitate the economy of the area itself in Alexander. Having said that, thank you so much, Chairman, for coming through and join us on this episode. Any young men out there who would like to join Gomora?
Currently, as I speak, like right now, we're running a top 8, but there's a demand, people who like to join Gomora. So we'll do a proper assessment for that. But currently, from the tournament was running in Alexander, I think they already got about 8 players from the age of 17. The announcements will be done. All the young people, they just have to work hard. concentrate not to be wanted to be someone else, to be themselves, concentrate on their career, work on their on how they're going to make it, but it's possible. It doesn't matter where you come from.
Once again, thank you so much, Chairman. That's how we come to the end of your episode for today. This was Chairman Joe Sianego, who is the chairman on a chairman's chair, talking to us here. He owns one of the teams being promoted from ABC Motsipe into Motsipe Foundation Championship. They will be playing their trade into the 2025-2026 season. Watch the space. Who knows? They could be joining the likes of Orlando Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs, Sundowns in the future. Until then, sharp sharp.
My name is Joe Sianego, the chairperson of Gomora United. We just got promoted to Motsipe Foundations as a champions of ABC League. Watch the full episode on Biggie on Sport.